Hey folks, Macpherson Origins. There's three of them, three stories. Only one could be true. There's three versions that were written at various times in history by various people, of course. And this is the first one that's on the Macpherson Association website. I've also recorded readings of the other two, so look for those. This is number one, Sir Aeneas of Invereshi's version. According to this version of Macpherson Origins, a colony of German Chatti, it's spelled C-H-A-T-T-I, Chatti, from Batavia at the mouth of the Rhine River, settled in what is now the very northeastern county of Caithness in the 1st century, and gave rise to the Scottish Clanhattan. In the first half of the 9th century, the Clanhattan were led by a chief called Gilcatan Moir, one of whose sons were forcibly resettled with the half of the clan in the western Highland district of Lochaber by Kenneth MacAlpin, king of the Picts and Scots, about 843. Muriac Catanac, a 12th century descendant of Gilcatan Moir, was a priory or parson of the King Gussie in Badenoch when his elder brother, the chief of the Clanhattan, died childless. Muriac the parson obtained papal permission to assume the chiefship and to marry, and was succeeded by his son Gilcatan the clerk and by his grandson Dougal Dall, whose only daughter or granddaughter and heiress married Angus, 6th chief of the Macintoshes. We've heard that, right? In MacLean month and MacBain month and all 12 months we're going to hear all this because we're all tied together, folks, just like that. I only have 10 fingers to work with, but this is how our 12 fits. This latter event took place in 1291, the marriage of Eva and Angus Mackintosh, and led to a controversy as to who was the legitimate leader of the Clanhattan that has lasted at different degrees of intensity for over 700 years. The basis of the controversy was that the chiefship of Clanhattan should have come to Ewan Ban, and probably a major factor that led to the disintegration of the old Clanhattan. Right, so their point is, the point being made here is that Eva probably had blood male relatives at the time, but her father chose to give the chiefship of Clanhattan to his new son-in-law, non-blood, who had married his daughter. He had no sons, but she did have cousins, I would think, perhaps uncles at the time, or both. Ewan Ban had 3 sons. Okay, that's her uncle then, or so. Probably has 3 nephews now of the actual chief, who's giving it to his son-in-law instead of these 3. Coinac, Kenneth, Ian, John, Giliosa, Gilles. From these 3 brothers, I'm learning so much, folks. I hope you like this. From these 3 brothers, the entire clan Veric, now that's with the MH, so I'm pronouncing it V, M-H-U-R-I-C-H. Looks like Muric, I'm saying Veric, is said to be descended, and this lineage came to be known as the Sloknan Chur Braithan, a posterity of the 3 brothers. Brethren at the end there is Brethren. Highland historians have generally discounted the connections with the Chatti or with Caithness, meaning that German Rhineland connection. Furthermore, Vatican records fail to reveal any papal dispensation or any association of the 13th century Murdoch with the priory of Kingussie, which wasn't established until 1479. So right now they're debunking this whole theory, or a lot of it. Although Aeneas Mackintosh's version, Sir Aeneas Macpherson's version has received wide acceptance from later clansmen. In fact, it owes practically nothing to the tradition of the clan except for some of the personal names, and should probably be held suspect as a version heavily contaminated with material drawn from Latin, Irish, and French literary sources. So it's neat, but maybe not to be trusted, is what they're saying. On the other hand, the name Macpherson was adopted by the members of all three lineages by the time of the 16th century, and would suggest that at least they believed that Murat was the person they grew from. All right, so that's the first version. Look for the other two. There's three altogether that I'm going to read for you. All right, touch on, my friends.